All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. I hope you guys are doing well. This is the Iraq Report. It is March 11, 2019, and I'm running a little behind. That's because Benny did a show, a free show of basically announcing the break in the system. And so if you want to check that video out, it is on Currency 365. I posted on there. Okay, so thank you, Benny, because not only have to do one video, so there was no reason for you to do a video and then me come back and do another video on Currency. So I put it on Currency 365 so I can just do this report here, and that's it. And then I'll have my Zimbabwe video out, and I got a couple more godly videos that are coming as well. I'm not sure who by, but you guys and girls will see it soon. Anyways, yeah, so that's what's going on right now. Remember, we are about to be in the year 400. I told you they were going to turn it up. In that video I did for the year 400, I told you that the last 5 years they've been turning it up on the descendants of descendants of slaves, the African American descendants of slaves. They have been turning it up on them, right? Cop killings and everything, right? And that's by design. But I also told you guys that once we get very close to it, and once we get in the year 400, it's going to be complete chaos. Okay. So also, there's no coincidence that reparations has been talked about like crazy, because that's exactly what happens when people are free. They need to be compensated for their being enslaved for 400 years. If you read Deuteronomy, you know that America must give reparations to the African Americans, okay, to the descendants of slaves, excuse me, okay, so. And if they don't, it's some really bad consequences. We know what happened with Pharaoh, okay, when he refused to let the chosen people go, the real chosen people, right? We know that there's another country sitting there in the Middle East that thinks that they're chosen people so they can be deceived, and Yeshua called them the synagogue of Satan. So, and guess what? They worship in the synagogue, don't they? Anyways, so we're not going to go there because not all of them are dealing in that. It's just the Zionists, right? So we have to be fair, okay? So a lot of them were born. They don't know. They didn't know, okay? They don't know. Why do you think Hitler was trying to get rid of them? You think Hitler was they think Hitler was, so they try to, I'm going off course, but man, they try, America's so slick, because when they want you to be an evil person, they will take that Zionist media of theirs, and they will make you look, they can make a grandma look like the meanest, angriest person on planet Earth. They really wanted to, right? So, but why did Hitler do that, right? Hitler, yeah, he had problems, and yeah, he did all, yeah, he was connected with the aliens, and yes, he talked to aliens and things like that for technology reasons and things like that, but he also knew who was the chosen people. They don't tell you that part, though, do they? Hitler knew what the Jews, the Zionist Jews, were about to do to the world, and how they were going to deceive the world. Okay, he knew that. That's why he was trying to get rid of them, because he knew what they were going to do. Okay, so, and some of you guys have never heard of that before. There's a reason why Hitler was trying to get rid of them, because if he had got rid of them, you wouldn't be eating this fast foods and GMO products and going through the stuff that you're going through right now. You had never thought about that. Because guess who runs all of Hollywood? Guess who runs all the media? Guess who runs all the food supplies and the fast food restaurants? The Zionists. Guess who runs all the medicals and the pharmaceuticals? The Zionists. So the reason why we're in bad shapes, and a lot of us are in bad conditions and bad shapes, and all this Wi-Fi and wireless stuff, and all this cancer and all this stuff, it's the Zionists, all right? And so Hitler knew what was coming because the aliens told him. But anyways, I digress. I'm not even going to get into that. See, that's something right there for, like, that's elite stuff right there. That's something for Benny's pay-per-view video stuff, right? So anyways, I ain't gonna get into all that, man. But anyways, let's get started with the report here for Iraq. All right, so I just blew some people's minds. Some people like, whoa, let me go back and listen to that again. Yeah. Anyways, let's go back. Okay, so not let's go back, but let's get started with the report. How about that? Sadr Alliance comment on seriousness Abdul Mahdi to fight corruption. Okay, so Sadr back in the picture again because a lot of people say he's sick, right? So he's back, and he's saying that he's gonna watch Abdul Mahdi here and see if he's really serious about corruption. Because remember, Abdul Mahdi said he's not opening up the files on corruption, like all the files that were there, all the present and past files on corruption. He had no plans on opening those files. Okay, so anyways, it says that Sadr, backed by the leader, of course Sadr, Sadr's alliance backed by Sadr on Monday, the seriousness of Prime Minister Abdul Mahdi to fight corruption in the coming period. The seriousness of Abdul Mahdi fight against corruption will be translated and tested through practical procedures and good analysis at the level of diagnosis, i.e. the diagnosis of corruption and the factors of corruption. But all of these things are subject to the latest demand and the seriousness and effectiveness of the procedures. Okay, we don't know what he just said, okay? They're just dancing around and talking nonsense right now. Okay, says the Associated Press, which will be taken and fight corruption. Okay, now, do you don't think that there's been corruption since he started in October as the prime minister? Of course there is. There's been corruption, right? And he hasn't done anything about that. So now he's just all of a sudden overnight gonna be fighting corruption, right? You're basically telling him to fight his own friends because they're the ones who are corrupt, right? Everybody that's in Parliament, those are not technocrats, right? Because the technocrats are not supposed to be corrupt, right? But we know that some of them actually have backgrounds that are actually kind of corrupt, but they're still called technocrats because they know how to do their actual position and job that they're supposed to be able to do. Okay, so we're asking him to go after his own people, and just something that we don't believe he's going to be able to do. It says the first signals given to citizens and given to the country must first start by assisting or assigning some files at least to the files ready. And he didn't want, he didn't want anything to do with that. So the files that are ready to go, the corruption files, Abdul Mahdi didn't want nothing to do with that. Remember that? So is he going to change his mind overnight? He says also, as well as there are certain procedures will be taken in many departments, especially at the level of the state, and this process is all linked to the reforms. There you go. So we know that they're linked to the files on corruption are linked to the reforms. Why? Because of the corruption, there isn't any reforms, right? So they're linked to the reform because if you remove the corruption and the corrupt people, you can then implement the economic reforms, the financial reforms, and all of the reforms and the projects. You can implement them and all the laws that are sitting there to be implemented. And you can also remove the program rate and get back onto the global markets, okay? But must take care of corruption, and because that's linked to the reason why the reforms are not completed. I mean, this is not hard to understand, okay, guys and girls. This is not hard to understand. I'm pretty sure that Hitler thing is still blowing some of you guys' minds. You guys are still sitting there like, what did he just say about Hitler? Okay. Iraq is the seventh most weapon imported country in the world. Yeah, because that's because now this is since back in I guess this is 2014 to 2018. and then going all the way back to 2009 to 2013. Okay, so these are studies from back in the day. Yeah, I mean, they're going through a war there, so of course they would have a lot of weapons importing into the country, right? So for the especially for the foreign fighters, right? For the foreign troops and the foreign fighters in the country. So that's not surprising. Okay, so let's see here. Abdul Mahdi and Rouhani preside over joint talks. Okay, Rouhani's still there? Yeah, he stayed for a while. So he might be staying for a couple of days here. Okay. Or maybe today's his last day. I don't know. He came yesterday, so 2 days now. Let's see what they did. They talked about some joint talks, okay, in Baghdad Monday evening. Now, they were supposed to hold meetings about the cabinet members Monday evening, right? I put out a video about that on Currency 365, which got demonetized, by the way. There's probably still ads running on there, but on my end it's demonetized. Okay? I don't know why. I mean, it's just Iraq holding meetings about the cabinet members, and YouTube demonetizes it, right? So the views aren't going to be as high as it should be, because once a video is demonetized, it literally goes into the black hole. So you guys, if you guys want people to see the video, you have to share the video, okay? So because a lot of people are not going to be able to see the video because it's demonetized. So a lot of times when you go on YouTube and you click on subscribers to see all your subscribers' videos, the ones that are demonetized are usually hidden and you can't see them. Sometimes they do that, especially if you're shadow banned like I am. Okay, so if you can see the video, share the video. Okay, because I think Benny shared it earlier today as well, but it's demonetized, so it's not going to get as much views as I expected. Okay, so it is what it is. There might be still ads running on there, but it's showing on my end demonetized. But anyways, so in that video I talked about they're holding meetings today for the cabinet members, and to decide, so when they get back in Parliament they can get it done. And it could be tomorrow, but we're going to talk about tomorrow's Parliament, or it could be Thursday or Saturday again. They like Saturdays for some reason for a lot of these things. But anyways. Let's see here. It says they're going to the field of to promote security, stability, and prosperity for all peoples. Now we know that corrupt people do not do that. They talk about doing that, and it sounds good, but that's not. But we got to look at it in their mindset, right? Promoting security, stability, and prosperity is not the same as my mindset and your mindset to their mindset, right? To them is their group of people are going to be secured and stable and have prosperity, right? They're not thinking about, in our mindset is everyone, right? The citizens are going to get their wealth back and the distribution of wealth and get their oil revenues and stuff. That's not what they're talking about. For them, what they really mean is their little group of people that are at the top, not the peasants, right? So we have to look at it where, how they speak or how they think. Because when they promote security, stability, and prosperity, it's not for the people. The people are the peasants. It's for the people that are surround them. Okay, the parliament members and things like that, right? Their group, their family members, all the parliament's family members and stuff like that, and their families. Okay, so that's really what they're talking about. They're not talking about the peasants, because when they, what I mean? Well, at least the people they call peasants, they're not talking about them. They think they belong as peasants. They don't. That's why they took their wealth away. You know what I mean? That's why well, George Bush and the United Nations took the wealth away. But I'm just saying, the reason why they won't give them back their wealth is because they believe they're peasants and they shouldn't have any wealth. And it's a curse to give them wealth. You see what I'm saying? That's their mindset. It's a curse to give them wealth. They belong in peasantry, but you know what I mean? Like they belong there. They should stay there. They shouldn't rise and be as equal as I am, right? That's how these people think. Okay, so Abdul Mahdi and Rouhani talk about the economic trade and some business stuff. Okay, let me see here. Says they open up about economic and commercial forum for businessmen in Baghdad. Okay. All right. So remember, they signed all these deals, and the Lord told us that once we see them sign all these deals and do all these partnerships, man, we are very close. And it's crazy that all these deals picked up right before the 400 year. March 20th, March 21st, right? All these deals and business stuff started picking up like crazy as we gotten closer to that date. So it's crazy, and I think we're gonna also see, a lot of crazy stuff around the world start to happen as we get closer to that date as well. And we know America is going to start being judged because of the freedom of the ADOS people as well. Just like Pharaoh was being judged by plagues and all that stuff, right? He wouldn't let the people go, and he's in plagues after plagues after plagues. Watch what happens if America doesn't give reparations to the ADOS people and actually free them and cancel their debts and all that stuff. America knows. That's what when you saw the video I did on it, you saw America knew. America talked about it, right? They even passed a law about it. They know. Donald Trump knows. He's not playing around either. You think Donald Trump wants to see plagues and things in America and come onto America? No, no one does, right? So this is not fun and games. This is very serious, right? So we got to take it very seriously. If they don't give reparations to the ADOS people and cancel debt and things like that for these people that are now free, America's gonna get judged like crazy, just like Pharaoh and them did. And it's gonna start with plagues. Okay, so it's gonna be crazy, man. But that's what's gonna happen. Just read Deuteronomy. If you guys are lost, just read Deuteronomy, and you'll see. And it's not pretty either. Okay. It says here that Al Farad publishes the agenda of Parliament session tomorrow. Okay, so let's see what it says here. Let's see what they're doing. It says including the first report and discuss the draft of the law of financial management. Okay, no cabinet members there. Okay, no foreign troops there. It says the draft law of the First Amendment of the law of the Fund for the Recovery of Iraq's Money. I just talked about that the other day. I said they still have they've recovered like 90%, but the World Bank was working on them to recover the rest of the 10% that's left out there in the world. Okay, so they're gonna be talking about that. Cool. Now remember, they haven't used this money. All that recovery money they have not used. I don't know where they have it at. I don't think it's in the reserves. I think it's just money that's on the side. I don't know what they've done with the money. I don't know. But I don't think they've used the money. I think they're gonna wait until they actually add value to then use the money. Or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they've done with the money. There's a lot of money that they've recovered. It's billions and billions of dollars that they recovered, right? So we don't even know what they've done with the money, or if they used the money or not. I don't think they've used it. I think they've put it on the side for one day to have purchasing power to it. Okay, they said third report and discussion of draft law amendment and companies law. Okay, so and the session begins at 1:00 tomorrow. So they're not going to do anything about the cabinet members, and they're not going to do anything with the foreign troops. Okay, so I'm not sure why they were holding all the meetings tonight. Then about cabinet members, maybe they didn't agree on anything tonight. Cabinet issues guidance to international and finance institutions on borrowing. Okay. Says countries not to engage in any discussions or direct talks with ministers and entities not related to ministry and province and the implementing parties with regard to loans. Okay. Once again, this is very embarrassing. It's embarrassing that these guys can literally get together to talk about loans that they're going to be trying to get from other countries. And then they're going to put stipulations on, who can talk to who to get loans. Like, you got all the oil in the world, and you're earning like $6 billion in revenue off of the oil alone. Well, that's without anything else. That's without the auction revenues. That's without agriculture. That's without tourism. That's without any type of housing industry. That's without anything else. Just oil alone was $6 billion in revenues in February. and that was a short month, right? So a couple of days short. So I mean, and you have to borrow money, and you have these people in expensive suits sitting down here in expensive cars, and all you guys are doing is trying to figure out how you can borrow more money from the world. And you don't think that people are sick and tired of that? Like, come on, man. You're not even thinking about your currency. You're not even thinking about adding purchasing power to your currency. You're not thinking about distribution of the wealth to citizens so they can actually have jobs, so they can create jobs as well online or on the. Imagine if couple of Iraqi create the next Google or the next Apple in their country, and how that's gonna help the Iraq out. You know what I mean? Like they don't have they don't even have the opportunity to do that because they don't have computers, right? And many of the schools don't have computers still. You know what I mean? But many of the neighborhoods don't have computers. They don't have any of that stuff. So but imagine you take the oil revenues and you start to give it to the citizens with purchasing power. Doesn't have to be 1-to-1. Just give them a positive value. Give them 1 cent to one, right? And then you start giving them the oil revenues, all right? And then they start creating jobs online. They can buy computers. They can buy, you know what I mean? That's how you create an economy, right? And so they start buying computers, and then they can start creating jobs. They can start working again online. They can start working in their communities. They can start working, right? And that gets the economy going. But they don't even want to do that. They can't even do that. They can't even just put the dinar at 1 cent. They can do it right now if they wanted to. 1 cent's nothing, okay? But they refuse to do that because they don't want the citizens to have any type of power at all, okay? And so that's why they don't do it. Iraq and Iran signed MOUs in 4 areas, and we talked about this one yesterday, I believe. I didn't read this article though, but we did talk about the memorandums yesterday. Let me see, what are the areas? Okay, they signed the memorandums in oil, trade, health, and transport. Okay. Now, we haven't heard from Donald Trump on all of this stuff that's going on with Iran and Iraq. I mean, they're signing all these agreements, yet Donald Trump made it clear to the world, do not do anything with Iran while they're under these sanctions. And yet Iraq has signed all these agreements with Iran, are doing all these trades and remittance and all these health and transfer and oil and still using their gas and electricity and energy. Donald Trump better bring the hammer down at some point, or they're looking at him and just laughing at him like, you ain't doing nothing, right? So Donald Trump might have to be like, you know what, Iraq don't want to listen to me, so I'm going to have to take the sanctions off of Iran because Iraq's not listening to me, and I really can't. I'm invested in Iraq, so I can't really put the hammer down on these guys because that's going to kill my own investment. So let me just remove the sanctions on Iran since no one wants to listen to me anyway. He might do that as well. We don't know. We don't know what he's going to do. We don't know what he's going to do, guys and girls. So anyways, that's all I have. Get ready, man. Get ready because it's going to get like Benny. Like if you guys watch the video, go to watch the video on Currency 365, Benny's video. Because, God even told him in the video, man, it's going to get scary. It's going to get really, really ugly. It's going to get really ugly. You got to keep your faith, man. You got to keep the faith. You got to keep your faith, man, because it's going to get ugly. All right? And that's what we need to see. We need to see the climax. I literally was probably the first person talking about this climax that we must see. I've been talking about this for a while now, right? So I've been talking about I've been talking about this climax that we must see, okay, before they release the revaluation, right? So we have to go to ultimate climax, right? It's got to be bad, guys. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you guys and girls realize how bad it needs to be to see this thing happen because it's a spiritual battle, okay? It's a spiritual battle of wealth being transferred from evil to good for God's kingdom. That type of battle is a fierce battle. It's a scary battle, right? And so we're going to go through that, and this is the perfect time in the year the 400 as the people, as the ADOS people are freed from the land of slavery, and they must receive their reparations, their wealth transfers, their jubilee, their debt cancellations. All these things must take place, and if it doesn't happen, oh boy, the land that they are on, which is America, will go through extreme judgment and plagues. All right, so we know that Donald Trump knows that, and and I think a lot of other people know that. I'm even thinking that Donald Trump's going to surprise us with Donald Trump might surprise the world with reparations. I'm thinking because I know he's hearing it from everybody else, right? Kamala Harris and all these other fake people that are don't plan on giving reparations. By the way, they're all talking about it. The Democratic people are talking. So Donald Trump, probably behind the scenes, if he's not, we need to pray about it, because Donald Trump needs to be behind the scenes trying to get something done, and that could be a huge surprise as well. That could also be another break in the system as well, if Donald Trump comes out and announces that he's going to be giving the ADOS people full reparations and debt cancellation, right, out of nowhere, because he knows it's going to help him win 2020 in a landslide, right? And so that could also lead to the red tsunami, right, that people see, right? Because Donald Trump is now giving he's canceling all the debt of the ADOS people and descendants of slaves, and also canceling debt and everything like that. So that could also happen as well, right? So, and that could happen this year. Okay, and if that happens this year, watch for then that prophetic red tsunami is going to be for 2020. So Donald Trump might be secretly behind the scenes doing deals or creating a plan for the ADOS people in the year of the 400, as the liberals talk about it in every talk show, and how they're going to be trying to give reparations, which we know they're not. Okay, Donald Trump could be behind the scenes getting it done, and he might make it a massive announcement about that, right? So you never know. I wouldn't be shocked if he did, right? I wouldn't be, because he knows that that's going to be the number one talking point in the 2020 elections. So if he can get it done before the 2020 elections, then it wouldn't be a good talking point. Everybody would be like, Donald Trump's already won. Donald Trump just announced a deal to give the ADOS people reparations and cancel their debt. He's won the election. Like, there will be no turning back. There will be no need for elections. Okay. Okay. So that would be awesome. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Like, subscribe, and share. And some of you guys are still, I can feel it. Some of you guys are still wondering about what I said in the beginning with Hitler. Oh boy, it is what it is. Take care, guys. Eyes open. Bye.